Brown folk problem.
Marcus, we've done it. We've made it. We at the Jordan episode 23.
Hey,
Like,
here.
dude, when we started this,
Yep.
man, did we think we was gonna hit it like this?
No.
I didn't know either. Like remember our first episode where like, man, there's a ton to talk about. And there is, like, we haven't stopped on a topic yet. Like,
No.
but man, like 23, dude, like we've been grinding and busting tails since what, the summer or the end of last year, school
Yeah.
year or work year, basically for us, and
Yeah.
the beginning of summer. And we've been cranking it out. And we've been talking about what the Jordan episode, we call it the Jordan episode, is going to be.
And there's a
And it's
very
huge.
good reason why.
It's huge, bro. Like you can tell them what it is, but it's huge.
So today we are talking about what I like to call Jason v. Jason, the feud between Austin St. John and Jason David Frank.
I'll say it's not even arguable the two biggest Power Rangers of all time.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Um,
They're Pikachu Charizard.
they're Pikachu,
The face,
Charizard.
like the commercial face with the
The,
Red Ranger, with, let's be real, the actual face of the franchise Tawny.
it's
It's
Rock and Austin. It's you could say what, Shaq and Kobe, like Curry, LeBron. We can't say Jordan anybody because it was just Jordan, right?
ain't nobody on Jordan level.
Yeah, in his era, there was no one on
There was
his level,
no
right?
like 1A, 1B.
No, no, no. So
This
that's
is
why,
a
like,
one.
we could say Manning and Brady at one point.
Yeah.
When you think about this guy's the guy. Um, that's about it right now. When I think about it, I felt like Rock Austin worked real good. One A,
That's
one
a great
B,
one. That's a great one.
because it's, man, like this is so wild and tough. Like I guess we could say LeBron and Kobe, right, for the little bit, and that, especially that Olympic run.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like, man, like even after all these years though, right, Marcus, this is like 30 years later and they are still 1A, 1B. And and the
I don't.
older I get, Marcus, the more I don't even like, I just almost don't even want to say 1A, 1B. I just say they're tied.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they're pretty tied. Like there is differences, and we'll get into those of
Oh,
like
100%.
how it's different. But I thought we would tell the fans, we would talk a little bit about the story, right? But with the more relation with each other, even on air, on screen, right? Some of it, right? We don't want to get into it completely because we still have deep dives in those characters. I think that'll be fun for people to, hear. But I think it'd be great for us to talk about like how they were on screen, like their characters, like the characters, because I feel like, and you tell me, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I think you'll agree. The on-screen bit, I feel like even played off screen
Yeah.
somewhat, and we could say it, right, Marcus? Like Power Rangers when it started was Austin St. John as the guy.
Oh yeah. He's the Red Ranger.
He's the Red Ranger, and like
He,
even character wise,
yeah,
like he's the guy.
yeah,
Like Tommy comes in, he loses, right? Character wise.
yeah. And it's. I think especially because that first time we have Tommy, like Tommy loses his powers and is out.
Yeah, but I'm even saying like the first thing we see of Tommy is he's
Oh
on
yeah, yeah,
screen in
yeah, yeah, yeah.
karate.
The karate competition. Yeah,
Yeah, like
it was like
that's the
that neck
very
and neck
first
though.
thing. It was neck and neck, but Jason was able to squeak out the win. And based on that is what made Rita go, "Oh, I need him."
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I need him. Um, like that's what they were gonna do, right? Like
yeah.
because they went at it. They were tied. What was it? It was like 4-4 or something like that.
I think they went like 4-4. It was went to 4-5. Maybe I can't
No,
really remember.
yeah, but the winner was the one that got 5, and that was Jason.
Yeah,
But like that whole thing made her go like pick him. And when you think about it too, bro, like sorry. Give me a second. Some reason did you hear that?
What?
Okay, you didn't. For some reason, like I'm on this website looking at something and like it just played something and I'm like, what the heck? It was heck loud in my headphones.
No, no.
Not cool. Okay, cool. Guess that was just for me. Anyways, um, yeah, weird. Like, so right away, Tommy's already. I don't want to say he's known as Lester, but he didn't win. He did well, but didn't win.
Yeah,
But well enough for Rita to think like he's a guy that can compete, right? Because Jason's their leader, aka Jason's probably their best fighter. Like let's make him this Green Ranger that I've been wanting to do. And we probably get, I'll argue, one of the best story arcs of Power Ranger history, right? Green with Evil.
very hard to live up to or try to recapture.
Yeah,
There's
man.
only been
Like,
a few times, like, and you can tell they tried. It was a massive attempt to, like, I feel like kind of the Titanium Ranger arc was a little bit like that.
yeah.
Of he was evil, trying to turn him good. But that wasn't like as big as, because let's be real, Tommy almost won.
Well, and that's another interesting thing when we're talking about like on-screen characters. Like Tommy kicked their butt, right?
Yeah.
Tommy was beating them up all by himself, but like, I don't. It was interesting too because like they got down at the end one on one.
And that part always seemed kind of a little too like ex machina to like this time it worked,
It was
because let's
interesting. Go
because I
ahead.
mean, dude, there's the episode. Remember, Tommy grew as big as the Megazord, beat them all down.
Yeah.
Like, so he beat down the Megazord, but then even before that, he jumped all the way up in there, got in their cockpit, and I love this scene. He busts in there, and Trainy's the first one to turn her head, like what, and just
Oh yeah,
boom,
she got the smoke right away.
dude. And
Yeah,
it's just like,
she
dang.
got the smoke.
And he threw him out the Zord and then messed up the Zord like once they were out. And so to me, it was just kind of like, and then when he's down there, he's messing them all up. And especially that part when Jason uses his the power dagger,
Mm-hmm.
like he got the blaster in dagger mode, and he goes to like chuck it at him. Tommy catches it and then like spikes him with it. Tommy was
Yeah,
that dude.
yeah, and like it's always interesting to me how like suddenly they were able to come back on him.
Yeah, and
And
then
that's where like I say a lot on this podcast. That's where it's like, yeah, forget it's for kids.
yeah, because then all of a sudden, oh, I'm gonna shoot the sword of darkness with my
Well,
blaster.
let's talk about that. So he's beating them all five up, right?
Yeah,
Handedly. Now it's one on one suddenly, and now he gets worked.
right.
Okay. And like
What?
that honestly right there sets the tone for, I'll say, now we know who 1 and 2 is.
Yes.
Okay. We know who 1 and 2 is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking about back like off screen yet, but I'll say it's interesting because as we know who the guy is, right? The guy, I would call it the guy being pushed is Jason.
Mm-hmm.
He's the number one, he's the leader. But I think as far as the fans are concerned and toy sales, all that, like Green Ranger's it, bro. He got his own theme song.
He was that shiny new toy dog. Go Green
And
Ranger.
like and that didn't fade because when they phased him out, right? When they all got Thunder Zords and he still had old Dragon Zord,
Mm-hmm.
and lost the powers. And they even made it to like, remember, like throughout Marcus, like as soon as Tommy came in, there was like the whole like him and Jason had to work together.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that? They even had a whole episode about it.
Yeah. With them, they were getting those other like blaster things.
Mm-hmm.
They look like little slingshot ones, which always surprised me because they were being attacked by Titanus in that. And I know they
Mhm.
never really like fully explained why. They just said, "Oh, they're guarded." Well, they're guarded by Titans. So I always
And it's
wondered what the
good.
real sort of like Sentai version of that was.
Yeah, and like it's really funny if you go back and watch that episode because like it's an alpha thing, like
Yeah.
on screen. And that's before it was like alpha and all that crap was really talked about, right?
Mhm.
Like, you know, I don't know how many of our fans know this kind of stuff or care, but when you have a couple of what they call like bad dudes, like a lot of fighters, like
Mhm.
you don't succumb to the other just cuz.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And so Tommy, knowing he barely lost to Jason, in his head, he's like, this guy ain't better than me. That's what it is. It's just like in real life. That's how people think of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, and remember they were like doing the one up thing. That's why Zordon sent them. And if you think about it and go back and watch, though, there's some stuff he picks up. You could tell like Jason's trying to show him leadership skills because I think Jason's the one that gives in,
Yeah.
you know, because that's the leader, right? And remember, we always said Jason was a very strong leader.
And like there's that honestly, the mark of a good leader, and this is just real life, makes other leaders.
That's why, like, when we talked about SPD, like I thought Jack always try to put Sky on,
Yeah.
like trying to put Sky on, being willing to be like, I think you're like our best fighter. Like, why wouldn't I pick you to do it? Like those are the things that are interesting. And I thought, their on-screen relationship was even cool. Like when Tommy lost the powers, but like Jason gained them, I guess.
Yeah.
So, dude, that like if you think about it and like go back and watch that time period, like that made Jason like a super ranger.
He yeah.
He
Jason
didn't
had
lose,
all the
bro, when
power.
he had both.
No, he was
Like
the
he,
strongest ranger at the time.
yeah, and like not even close though. Like not even questionable.
No.
Like Jason hanging with the monsters by himself,
Yeah.
and I this is good that we're still just talking about on screen because don't worry, guys, we're gonna talk about off screen, which is probably the juice, right? That's where the juice is
And
getting
it's
squeezed.
juicy.
Yeah, it's always real fun if you go back and see when Tommy starts to come back though, right? In white light. Um, like they don't, I think, mean to, and I guess we can look too far into it on purpose, but like Jason does like a double take when Tommy does its morphin time after they announce like as he's coming down, like this is Jesus' second coming, right? This is
Jesus.
that's what it was, right? That's what they were doing.
Mhm.
The second coming, he's coming down. They're announcing him as he's the new leader, right? Point blank, you already know now. Whoever this cat is, he's the guy. You just got told he's the new leader, and it's Tommy. And I think marketing wise, how smart. As a kid, I jumped for joy.
Well, because remember, they hinted for so that there was going to be a new ranger, and I think didn't they kind of like hint that one was coming before the episodes even happened? I think I can't remember for sure, but regardless, they were always kind of throwing like some red herrings at us, like Zach's cousin Curtis.
Mm-hmm.
That brother was around a lot, and I remember thinking, and I think he even helped fight putties at one time because they're always at the park. They go,
Always.
the Rangers go to a park, putties got to show up, and I think one time he did like help, or he was like at least there, and Zach was like, "Hey man, get out of there," and he kind of stood back for a moment. So it was like they teased him being around or possibly being the White Ranger. Then there was what's that guy's name? I forget his name, but he was like Ernie's nephew that Trini was crushing on. That pretty boy. Uh
But like, yeah, you're right. They hint, and I think that's on purpose, right?
well, yeah, because they want people to be thrown off because they don't want it to be super obvious that yeah, we're gonna bring back this guy that everybody wants back. That the
Oh
fans
yeah, like bro,
because I
like his stuff
remember
was selling so hot,
well,
bro.
I remember even my mom telling me like talking about like that people were like really mad that when the White Ranger was coming, people were because it was a what 2 or 3 part episode. Was it two or
Oh
three?
yeah, white light.
Yeah, but I'll say, well, how many episodes was it? 2 or 3? But
Let me see.
whatever.
While you well, keep talking, I'll
I
find it.
just know that like at the end when they finally had that thing when it ends with Billy and like, oh, they're making a new Ranger and like it ends with that. I remember having to wait and people being mad of like at first thinking like, oh, who's it gonna be? Who do you like? Who's this new Ranger that they're making? Who's it gonna be? But then like people also being upset and mad that like, how could they do this and like not bring Tommy back? They just need to bring him back. And lo and behold, it's him.
Yeah, like they totally swerve people, man.
It's such like it was like
It
that
was a
moment. I was like,
two-parter.
it's so beautiful.
Bro, dude, think how wild this is, bro. Like you just turned 3 years old and they're doing this.
Dang. I'm a 3 year
October,
old getting this
what is
upset
this?
about
The
TV
first episode was on October 17th, 94.
the day after my birthday.
Yeah, and then the
I
next
literally just
episode was
turned
the
3.
18th.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Literally just turned 3 years old and I'm already having like anxiety about power.
yeah, like it's just funny. And I guess here would be a good point to start talking about some stuff, right?
Yeah.
Um, this was filmed not with Austin St. John and Walter Jones and Trini,
Which part?
the White Light.
Really?
I'm reading here that originally Jason was supposed to remain the leader of Power Rangers after Tommy became the White Ranger, but was changed to have Tommy become the leader due to Austin St. John and Walter Jones and Ty Trang leaving the show not long after the episode was filmed.
Hmm.
This is why Jason's not shown reacting to this otherwise random demotion.
Interesting.
And it makes all the sense because he's acting like everything's cool.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
and then and he even says, and I guess this is like Ross start hitting that like backstage heat.
hit it, dog.
Because people ask him all the time, were you upset when they said that, oh, he's the new leader of the Power Rangers? And this is what he said. He says, no, I wasn't upset. He's like, I was already on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I was on the way out. Plus, with Tommy, they knew what they had with him. He was so popular. They had to,
Yeah.
and let's be real. And it's kind of backtracking a little bit. This dude was so popular that even though the Green Ranger was like gone, Saban was trying to make him the star of his own of VR Troopers. Remember
Oh,
back when it
yeah.
was called Cybertron, and that's a whole other thing that we can deep dive in on another episode.
Well, I mean, God, the guy that they ended up getting for VR Troopers was supposed to be the White Ranger, Brad
Yeah,
Hawkins.
they did a flip flop with him.
Literally, like you can go find this footage of like
Yeah.
stuff. And they even try to bring in Brad to be the Gold Ranger.
They're like, nah, dude, you ain't coming in. You just ain't, you ain't getting it. Do I get to be Ranger now? No. You could be on VR Troopers and wear a funky repainted Red Ranger helmet, but that's all. That's the closest to Rangers you're gonna get. But yeah,
Yeah,
like they knew. So he's like, yeah, we knew he's pop. They knew he was popular. He said they knew I was on my way out. So the show and everything was in good hands. So when you looking back now, if he wasn't part of that episode, that makes a lot more sense. And it kind of gives some reason why he's always so calm about it, because he is. He's always very calm about that stuff.
yeah.
And same response all the time. And you can tell it doesn't seem like, oh, this is a script. I'm sticking to it.
Mm-hmm.
I was perfectly fine with it. I am so glad it happened. No, he was just straight up like, yeah, man, I was leaving. It was out. He was a popular guy. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, like,
So,
and that's something more like, dude, I knew a guy. I used to work with him at a grocery store. His name was Al, man, and he used to work at Toys R Us during the time. And he
yeah.
told me point blank, he's like, Richard, like, Power Rangers in general were just flying off the shelves at the time. He goes, but that Green Ranger, he goes, it was so hard to keep a Dragon Zord. And like, I can say, yeah, I remember that too. Cause bro, like, my parents didn't have a ton of money at the time, right? Like they did
Mhm.
as I got older, they had more. I'm not saying they had a ton, but they had more. Um, and that was the one thing they were willing to spend a lot of money on was to get me that Dragon Zord or a Dragon Dagger because they knew how much I loved the Green Ranger, bro. Like
Yeah.
Marcus, like for you was probably the same thing. He was like my be all end all.
Oh
I know
yeah.
he was for you too. I know he was for you
Oh
too.
yeah.
Like he's the guy like it's weird like hero status, right? We talk about that. He's like hero like hey,
He
when he's on, bro, like a smile's on my face like
the whole reason I got back into the franchise was his
yeah.
return for Dino Thunder, and that's the truth. Like when once Ninja Storm hit, that's when I was kind of like, eh, all right.
I like Ninja Storm. First time a guy looked like me. But anyways, I digress.
I was, but and I think because it was like the tone of that season was so different because it was the chill season and everything. And one day,
It was.
I'll have a lot of fun conversation talk when we deep dive into that season. But I was kind of like, all right, done with Rangers. And then
Mm,
all of a sudden, it's like because those Disney seasons, especially those first three, they had great promos,
mhm.
like teasers leading up to them with the characters. I remember I showed you them sometime before because I was like, this would be a great way to introduce like new wrestlers. Remember? Like I think I
Yeah.
showed you like the SPD one. Well, they had the
Yeah.
same thing with Dino Thunder. They did the same, like each character had their own thing. Yeah, Connor is like, I was a soccer player. Ethan, I'm just trying to be a gamer. Kara,
I
I
like
want to
it.
play guitar. And all of a sudden, I remember there was one. My name's Dr. Tommy. I'm like, whoa, 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 what? Tommy's back. And it was just like, you weren't sure if he was like, is he a ranger? What's going on? He's just back. I was
Yeah,
all in, bro.
it changes things,
It
right? Like
made me,
right
and the
away.
fact that I'm like, oh well, he's just a mentor. Okay, that's cool. But then the fact that then he eventually gets a suit again, he suits up.
We'll talk more about that when it comes time.
Yeah,
But like he was so popular that like that's who the people were wanting. Like I know, even now, right? We talk about the Red Ranger, that Red original Power Rangers, like the guy, the franchise, the face,
it,
the Pikachu,
yes.
right? But man, there's a shiny Charizard over there, right? Like there's a shiny Charizard that
And his
man,
name is Thomas Oliver,
and
but
there
doctor. He got that
and
doctor.
and I'll say this, this is even somewhat speaking ahead, but I don't think it's like too far ahead. But man, like he kept that shine throughout his whole time, right? Like
Yeah, it was.
Tommy was always something special, bro. Like he's everything he always did was special.
He
And
never
I'm not
lost.
saying Jason's wasn't, but he never lost the luster. Um, I feel like it only actually gained. Like the other things he did, bro, when we talked about the 20th anniversary. We'll eventually talk about 25th here soon, right? We'll talk about that here soon. Like the reason these things were watched, right, Marcus?
Yep.
Like big, like care about is him. Like, bro, I even said on the 20th anniversary one, like him popping up on there, like I instantly got a smile on my face, like I'm a kid again.
Yep. And
You
let's be
know,
real,
and
and then getting mad, like, wait, that's it? That's all he's doing until he shows up at the end? No, I want more.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah. So
Let's get a
like,
white suit.
you know, it's interesting that those happen. And we can tell, right? Like if you just go back and watch like a lot of those episodes, right, where it's White Ranger, them and Jason, Zach and Trini,
Mm-hmm.
they're very put together, right?
Yes.
A little bit. I feel like they are, right? We've learned about it already. That a lot of cutting and pasting of scenes from past,
Yeah.
right? Um, so there wasn't a ton there, and if I think this is a good entry point, right, into the off-screen stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right, Marcus? Like, do you want to start on that?
So,
Like,
sure. Um, so it all started, and just so everyone knows, this is not stuff that we are like fabricating, we're making up to stir the pot. This is literally just stuff that's out there. That's common knowledge. You can literally Google it,
mhm.
YouTube it, you'll find this stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah,
Um,
like it's not hard.
it's not hard at all.
Like it's not
Not at
hard.
all.
Yeah.
Um, so it all started when once Tommy was on the show, now remember, Jason's a martial arts guy. Tommy's a martial arts guy. Like by the time Tommy got on the show when he was 19, like he was the youngest, by the way. And I think this kind of may play into a lot of things when you think about it, is because he was the youngest. But Tommy already like has lived a life.
He's a dad.
He's already a dad. He's already a dad. Owned like I think 3 or 5
Martial
karate
arts kid.
studios.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, home like this is his life.
Yeah, he
Already.
ain't playing around. Like he
No,
knows
he's
what he
not like
like
he's
what
when
he's
we
doing
talk
with his
about like
life.
martial arts being someone's life, that literally is his life.
Yeah.
So then he comes here, and then Jason's like, you know, big man on campusing it, like, yeah, this is my show, all this, blah, blah, blah. Which, by the way, Austin St. John, real name actually is Jason, which I find hilarious finding that out. Did you see his real name?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Jason Lawrence Geiger.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Marcus, like,
But
it's funny though, like that don't surprise me. Like, what sounds better? Like
no,
for
yeah,
Marcus, we read into this stuff for a long time. We know how like these guys
yeah,
have to
you
do
got
it.
to get a
They
name
have
that
to.
you got to get a name that pops, bro.
Yeah, like I don't
So
blame him. I get it.
yeah. So anyway, so Jason, Red Ranger Jason, Austin St. John, is apparently like big man on campusing it. Like, but let's be real, he has kind of. Can you blame him?
I don't blame him at all. I
He's
get
the
it.
face of the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the superhero right now. You know, let's be real. Superheroes weren't like they are now. Marvel was on the decline. The Batmans were kind of jokey, you know. And so it was just like this was something new. And this is the guy leading them.
Oh yeah, not even close. By
This
the
is the
way,
face of, let's be real, the face of $1 billion franchise.
yeah. He and
So
like before the Green Ranger comes in, like we said, Jason's the guy, and he's pushed as a guy as the Green Ranger's there
yeah,
and
even
gone.
was. Yeah. So Tommy puts it out like Jason David Frank that like he's like, oh, you break bricks, like you do all this martial arts, like what's something you do? And he's like, oh, well, I break bricks and all this stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, you break bricks too? I break bricks. And then Jason David Frank said this on that interview. He told like even the guy who was like his stunt man for the Green Ranger was like, oh well, I got these or I got these bricks right here. We can go break some and let's do like a demonstration. Let's go to like one of my schools and do all this, blah blah blah. And he said that Austin St. John just always kind of like shined him off, like nah. And the way he would talk about the bricks, they're like, that's not how you do that. And so Jason David Frank always felt like Austin St. John was kind of faking it, where it's like yeah, he might know some martial arts stuff, but he's putting on like he knows so much, and it's like he ain't all
and
that.
he took that like offense to that because
Yes.
he showed it. He's a real martial artist, right?
Yeah.
Like this is what he does.
Mm-hmm.
He was annoyed by it, and I understand that, but I think you hit the nail on the head, Marcus, that like I didn't even realize until you said it. His age, I believe, did take a little bit in factor in there because man, like when you're a young guy, man, you're already wound up. Most people are, especially a martial artist. Like I know they teach certain things in there, but you also have it allows you to have a confidence about yourself. That's actually one of the good things about it.
Well, but then also, and then let's take into account of things. This is the early 90s. Martial arts are hot, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Karate Kid.
Well, dude, Marcus, like there's even a Karate Masters, like the fighting.
Yeah. Well,
you know that, right?
Let's be real. Yes.
The show, where they got all the people from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. But also, and you'll remember this, Richard. Dude, every freaking show in the 90s, if somebody was about to fight, all of a sudden everyone knew Kung Fu. Everyone knew like some form of martial arts. Everyone knew martial arts in the 90s. So it's like you're coming off of that. And then, like I said, Jason David Frank was the youngest on the set.
Mm-hmm.
But then, even though he's the youngest, and we don't know the full thing of how things were backstage, you only hear bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know, and it is documented too. Austin St. John and Walter Jones, and this is what I would love to talk to them about this. It was Party Central, dog,
Mm-hmm.
because they lived together, and it was like parties every night, cops being called,
I would love to hear
disturbances.
this.
Oh yeah, hey,
I think it'd be
disturbances and
awesome.
every noise violations. But then cops show up. Oh, it's the Power Rangers. Oh, cool. Hey,
Mhm.
have a good time. Have a good night.
Have a good night, boys.
Have a good night, boy. Hey, hey, that's big for Walter Jones, especially at that time. Cops
Yeah,
let
he's
me go.
probably
I'm
like,
good.
he's like, thanks. Right?
But
Like,
so it's like
thanks.
they are the big stars, and then here's this guy who's like his life is martial arts coming on, and
And
he's a younger guy, probably looking up to them as like almost big brother. We're gonna be on this team together, but then you shine me off on like that.
and Marcus, like, bro, like he is he's also got things going on, like it sounds like, right? Like Jason David Frank. And I don't know how much like other acting he really wanted to do at the time. He probably thought this is cool. He gets to show off some of his skills,
Mhm.
right? And man, I don't know. I don't know, right? We don't know. We just hear from what we hear on the set. But um, as far as I do know, though, is that there's this is where a riff starts though
Mhm.
coming up, right? Like, can you divulge into that, like why this riff suddenly starts? Because it
So
starts with contracts, if I'm correct.
yes, yeah. So we get past the whole thing of like the brick breaking thing, all that.
Yeah, which is that's a story where you have to go listen about that. I
Yeah.
haven't heard. I would love to ask Austin St. John about that whole thing.
And I will say this though too, before I move on with the rift, Tommy put his money where his mouth was, because when there's an old clip from uh the live with Regis Philbin, that old show,
Mm-hmm.
when they were promoting Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. Tommy gets the segment to go promote the movie, has a sit
Mm-hmm.
down segment, and then does another segment where he's with Regis Philbin, like, yeah, we're gonna break bricks. I'm gonna show you how to break a brick, dude, with your head.
Oh
And
yeah,
Full Moon does it.
because he's about that, bro. Like,
Yeah.
but he
So
was
it
till hit the end, bro. Like
yeah. So
Tommy
it's
was a martial artist.
yeah, and so it's one of those things that's interesting, that it's like, oh hey, I'm not gonna just come and do some cool flip kicks and all this. I'm gonna break bricks on national TV to promote my movie that I'm the star of.
Yeah,
He's
like I
putting it
mean,
out there.
yeah,
But
like, and he wasn't. He even said, like, I think in another interview, like he took offense to that stuff
yeah,
because he thought it made like martial arts look bad. And I
yeah,
can understand that because I know in other things people get that way about stuff. Like,
yes.
as we know, like we've done professional wrestling, like Marcus continues to do it here locally. And like, dude, people take that like really serious.
Yeah,
Like Marcus knows when people come in that do more than just local shows, like they actually maybe appear on TV.
yeah.
Um, like we had a guy one time, Davey Richards, remember? Like we all had to have good gear, and he was blown away at how good our gear was because he is assumed it being we're a farm town. Yuba
We are.
City, where we live, is a farm town. That okay, and it was a church wrestling promotion at the time. He's like, oh man, it's gonna be a bunch of backyarders, what they call it.
Yep.
And he showed up, and he's like, oh, like this is the opposite of what I thought was going on.
Yeah.
Like you guys are all decked out, and that was a great compliment to all of us,
Mm-hmm.
and it just shows that, like, people have perceptions and like feelings about stuff.
Yeah.
And that was something I know that he like was a big fan of when he came back. He's like, oh yeah, of course I'd come back. Like you guys actually like care,
Yeah.
and it's like, yeah, like, hey man, like that's a thing. So I understand that because I know like there's fighters right now that take certain stuff serious. And let me hit a quick sidebar. Like this might even trigger
It
some
is.
people because they don't know about it. He's the new middleweight champion of the UFC. Sean Strickland would just beat Israel Adesanya.
No.
Dominant decision, right? Dominant decision. Did a really good fight. There's a bodybuilder out there who's really famous in the fitness community who I like, Bradley Martin.
Yeah.
It's a joke. It's a bit he has that, could I beat you in a street fight? I'm 260. You're like what, 180, right? Like it's a joke. He
Yeah.
jokes about it. He even said it's a joke. This guy takes it serious. It's not a joke to him.
Yeah.
To the point to where he said, if I see him and he goes and he says anything to me, like I'm gonna kick his butt, and he doesn't say butt. And I'm gonna show him what fighting is really about. I don't play that.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a known joke, it's a known bit, but he don't care.
Yeah.
Like, to him, like, that's not funny. I take this serious. This is my livelihood. And a part of me respects people like that, because I'm like, dang, good for you, bro. Like, you live and die by you have actual like moral, you have a code you live by. Credit to you, because we're living in a world where everybody bends, bro.
Mm-hmm.
One way or the other. But also, it's a joke. This is where like sometimes we get too much. And I think Tommy got a little too much on that.
Mm-hmm.
Just me speaking real quick. I think got a little too much on that, which we'll talk more about, because Tommy, we'll say it, but Tommy did most of the talking of this feud. You'd want to call it feud.
100%.
Yeah, like if you go search Austin St. John about Tommy, you're not going to see long clips.
No, very short, very minimal,
short. Very minimal.
Like, but we'll get to that. So let's get to the rift.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think this is huge.
Yeah. So as everyone knows, common knowledge, Austin St. John, Walter Jones, 2 Trang left the show because of contract disputes. They wanted to go union. So
Dan Southworth would agree.
Yep.
Shout outs to my boy Dan.
Our fellow Ubisidian, Dan Southworth.
Our fellow Ubisidian. Yeah, man. Heck yeah, he is, brother.
Even though he didn't live, but he's been here. He knows.
He knows what's good.
They wanted to go union, and apparently the entire cast, well, at least the Rangers, were on board. All the Rangers were on board. But then right when they were going to go talk to Haim Saban and be like, hey, man, we want to unionize. This ain't right. We're $1 billion franchise, and we're only getting paid $600 a week.
Wild.
Yeah. They were all going to go to that, but right before they were about to present to him with it, Jason David Frank pulls back and is like, no, we, talking about himself, David Yost, and Amy Jo Johnson, we don't think we really need to do that. Our time will come. We're just gonna like ride this for what it is, for the good way that we got right now. So Austin St. John felt that Tommy, Jason David Frank, came in and like turned his friends against him, because then they only went, the only 3 that went to talk to Haim Saban about it was Walter Jones, 2 Trang, and Austin St. John. And so because it's like, well, that's only half of you guys. There's the other half that don't care and they're fine with it, how it is. Well, we can replace you guys.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened. And because I feel like, let's be real, had it been that whole cast, there would have been, I felt, at least a change.
They'd have had to.
Movement in the right direction.
Yeah. It's funny because it's like, if they had stuck together, they probably would have got paid more. I don't know if they would have went union.
They would have gotten something, because let's look at like the cast of Friends. All together, collective bargaining, come together, able to get like, got $1 million per episode.
And it's stronger when they go together. You're right. Like when they move like this together, they better.
Let's be real. When you have all of them, even, let's be real, Tommy at this point, White Ranger, so the big star.
Yeah, and he knows he's coming in like, and that's what's interesting to me too. Like, I'll keep it real with you. Like, bro, the way he looks, bro, his entrance, like he got, like, that's why when I read that thing of like, oh, Jason was still supposed to be the leader. How? Like, how? Like, I don't understand how he could have been, based off this entrance we just got for this guy who arguably, like, let's keep it real, he looks beast mode, bro.
He's Jesus.
Like, Like his shield is even like full body, like a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
Like his sword rivals Jason's sword,
Yeah.
and that actually does more than Jason's sword.
Yeah.
So
But
like,
it's also, if they were, so if Tommy was on board too with and all of them, because let's be real, Saban wasn't about to replace all six.
no way.
He wasn't about to do that because like three, okay. I still got my main star. I still got the White Ranger and the one that all the boys are crushing over. All right, cool. Let's be real.
Yeah,
He
dude.
still
Yeah,
got
like,
he still has Tommy Kimberly. Okay.
like that. There's episodes all day with just the two. Like,
But
you
let's be
could do
real.
this all day.
I've got the boy fan base and I got the female fan base with the Pink Ranger still. I'm cool.
Oh, you know he thinks like that.
And so,
Like that's how they had to think for
yeah.
sure. Come on, like why would
But
they
like
not?
if they were all there, then yeah, I think there would have been at least movement in the direction that they wanted. And because this wasn't like, it wasn't until Turbo that Saban was really like, all right, well, if you're gonna go, they're all gonna go.
Yeah, and like that's what's wild too. Like, it'd be good just to hear from everybody, like why they chose it, right? Why they chose it,
Yeah.
why they decided like, hey, this is like gonna be the best course of business for us, right?
And I could honestly, and let's be real, I could see why Tommy would want to like not ruffle any feathers. Let's be real. He was on the show and then off the show. So he already had that experience of like, I'm part of this and now it's gone from me. I don't want to ruffle any feathers and then be gone again. But then also, hey, they're making me a freaking star.
Yeah, like I'm not coming back,
I'm on the cover
like,
of TV Guide.
but like I'm not just coming back, bro. Like, I'm gonna do this whole story arc. No, no, no. I am the arc now.
He's the show.
Like I am the show now. Like I am the whole effing show. Like
He is.
this is what I'm
Yes.
doing. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I don't blame him a ton. Um,
Plus, also, he's the youngest. He was younger than them all. So
yeah.
him wanting to just be like for a kid. I mean, I know he's an adult, but for like a kid in this position making all this money, all right, dude, I'm gonna write it out. See how long we can go.
Yeah, yeah. Like why not, right? Like
Yeah.
let's see what we can do. He's making more money probably than he has in a while. Like I know, well, actually, no, he has the other things going on, but like these are different incomes, right? Like he's doing
Yes,
something
but
different.
imagine how much that's feeding into the like because look, his karate studios, how much more of a bump in memberships do you think he got because he's the White Ranger, the Green Ranger?
Oh, a ton, Marcus. And and I get where Austin St. John's coming from, though. Like, hey, man,
Yeah.
like we're supposed to be a team here. Like, if we're united, we can get more out of this. Like,
Yep. All sides, honestly, on that, both perspectives are equally valid when you look at it.
yeah, like that's where I'm like, okay, like I see where Jason came from, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know what the issue is. Like, I get why he was mad. And that did cause a rift, but they came back, bro. Like in Zio,
They came back,
they came back, dude.
and
Together.
there
Go
was
ahead.
even, let's be real, how much of that, them coming back, was the actual, especially that scene when Jason's back, when they're back at the juice bar, hitting the heavy bag, and they have that conversation at the end of the episode. And Jason tells him, hey, man, I just want to let you know, me coming back, I'm not coming back to try to take over like the Rangers, you're the leader, all that. Which is kind of interesting when you think about it, because if we follow the track of how it was, Tommy is now the Red Ranger. He's like
Yeah.
official. It's like, let's
Yeah.
be real. Tommy held that leader position without being Red Ranger. But now it's like he finally got that with
Mm-hmm.
Zio. But if we follow the track though, here comes the Gold Ranger with let's be real, was almost very similar to the White Ranger. But
Yes.
And if you think of it like, well, okay, well, because the way Rangers was, the Sixth Ranger comes and has all this power, super dope suit. Okay, so this is gonna be the new leader, right? That's
Yeah.
how the show trekked. But it's like a, and then Tommy gives the response of, "Hey man, we're a team. The Power Rangers are not bigger than anyone." But in reality, in his head is like, "But I'm the biggest one here. This is my show. You coming back?"
I actually always like that too. That
I
Jason
I like it.
said that
Yeah.
because like, let's be real, like that ran through my mind.
Let's be real. If Jason came back like that, I thought so too. I'm like, I kind of thought that was gonna happen. So okay, so Six Ranger's the leader now. So Gold Ranger.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, and Tommy made the Six Ranger cool, bro. So
Yes.
like when Jason showed up as the Gold Ranger, like, God, in the logo of our podcast, I'm the Gold Ranger.
Yeah.
Like, love the Gold Ranger. Like, I think he's awesome, Jason, and it's because of Jason.
Yeah.
Like, it's because of Jason, bro. And like, I love the dynamic. I say it all the time. Like, I love Zeo. Like, it's up there for me within space. Like, I love Zeo. I think, and it's a lot of it has to do with their dynamic.
Well, especially remember the story arc, King for a Day,
Yeah.
bro. Tommy was getting ready. And let's be real, Tommy would have wiped the floor with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Adam would have lasted maybe longer, but
You like to think that, but yeah.
I like to think that. I like to
Rocky
think,
probably still would have dusted Adam too, but
gosh, probably, maybe, yeah. But but who's the one that really broke through and was like, all right, man, if we're doing this, all right, but I don't want to. Jason.
yeah, Jason was like, I'll get down with him because Jason can, right? Story wise.
Because Jason can. And especially
And
as the Gold Ranger too.
he's holding back a lot.
Yeah.
Somewhat because he doesn't want to hurt him, but he's also trying not to get hurt,
Yeah.
which is like you really can't do in fighting. Like you got to
Yeah.
pick one or the other, really. And like that's why he's trying to just get through to him because he knows like we're about to go for real blows right now. Like
Mhm.
this has got to get real. Either I'm gonna hurt you or you're gonna hurt me. One of the other's coming.
Yeah.
And that's a great episode, actually. I really like that episode.
Those are,
The iguana guy, right?
yeah. With Bulk and Skull. Hey, Bulk and Skull actually fighting. They're fighting too. But so that was Zeo. But then even like the next season, well, not next season, but then Turbo.
Uh
Jason
huh.
and Tommy again, man.
Yeah, like,
It's
dude, yeah, and like in the movie, right?
yeah.
And I remember always as
Jason
a kid, we
Token.
didn't really, yeah, but I remember as a kid, bro, I never really said it when we covered Turbo the movie, but like, I remember as a kid, I was like, hold up, like, how is Tommy and him not gonna get down? Because he's showing up with your girl.
Well, hey, and I think that was like a little like now that we're older, and I feel like because Shuki Levy directed it, and he's already working on the show, so he knew what he was doing with it. But I also feel like he knew for fans, like, oh, Kimberly's back with, because remember they showed, oh, it's Jason, oh, Jason, my partner, my like buddy that was just here with us as the Gold Ranger. Oh, and Kimberly, hey, and they go, Tommy, Kim, dude, your new lady's right here, bro. What the heck? Be look, show some respect, Tommy. Show some respect. But hey, but they
Yeah,
still got Kimberly over there when Jason's choking Tommy, and she's like, yeah, yeah. Like
he's the one I left you for.
a lot of people think that.
I know.
A lot of people think that ultimately they would end up together. Hey, they took out a 2017, man. Remember there was that kiss in the trailer, and that even got cut because someone was like, "Ooh, just wait till Tommy gets there."
Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, it's
it's so
like,
that yeah that and like I don't really know about this, and this is where I was hoping you could help fill in for this part. Where like, how was the relationship after Zio?
I'm not
And the
sure.
Turbo movie.
I'm honestly not sure
It,
because I
'cause there's
know
not a
that,
lot talked about that.
huh? No, no, there,
Not,
'cause there's almost like a gap in a sense
uh-huh.
because um I do know that Turbo was filmed right around like the same time Zio was still going.
Yes.
So, I mean, if they're just back fit, like, so if Austin St. John is there and he's just like, maybe it was just like a copacetic thing, like, hey, like we always say, dude, let's just make some money, dog.
Yeah.
And then, so that's
Mhm.
so maybe that was the kind of the vibe of it.
I also know that like, once things change, like Austin St. John probably had, the sour taste in his mouth about everything, right? Which I understand. I get it. But like Rangers, we've said it on here a little bit that like Rangers is kind of gone in a way, deadish for a lot of these older Rangers until like Tommy starts hitting the scene, bro.
Yeah.
Tommy starts hitting the con scene.
Yeah. And it was,
Like,
and that was about the, I think after or around the same time as the 20 or the 20th anniversary special.
right before, had to
Yeah.
be because he started
Yeah.
because if I'm correct, let me see when he fought.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. When he had his MMA fight. That was obviously before the 20th anniversary. I think that was not too long after Dino Thunder.
Yeah, he had a bunch of amateurs first, bro. He's fighting amateur in 2010, and then pro in 2010.
Okay.
He fought 5 fights in 1 year.
He's a real fighter, dog.
Yeah, and like he got cracked in that one too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
he really
like
did.
that dude cracked him,
He
and
did.
that right there to me is when he proves like, oh man, like this dude's it, bro. Like he's for real.
Yeah.
Because you gotta take it, right? You gotta be able to take it too.
And I think that proved for Tommy doing that, like mixed martial arts on that level, is what sort of maybe reignited his feelings. Because think about it. Tommy's whole thing, the issue started with him and Austin St. John over like the brick breaking thing, in martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
Now Tommy's doing it on this pro level. Because remember, people kind of joked about him too. Oh, the Green Ranger is doing MMA now, you know, and he got laughed about at first.
Until he
But then
started
people,
winning.
so he wins, and everyone's like, oh, okay. And I think that kind of reignited, because I remember seeing like a clip too of him, like after they were clowning him, and then he knocked that dude out, and he's like, yeah, I am the Green Ranger, like owning it.
Yeah.
And I think that for him probably reignited some like the feelings of like the martial arts of like, yeah, I take this real. This is real to me, not like in the sense of like the Ranger stuff, but just everything as a whole, you know?
He won everything in the first round.
Yeah,
Remember, like he was so down to fight CM Punk.
he was.
He was like so confident too, which made me go, "Dang, he's probably gonna beat it. He'd probably beat him."
Oh, he would have anyway.
No, for sure. But like the
I had no
confidence he
faith.
had,
I
like the
had no
confidence
faith
he
in
had
him.
about it,
Yeah.
he's like, "Let's get it." Like, remember he wanted to fight Van Dam?
Well, he kind of did for a minute. He hemmed him up.
Yeah,
He posted him up on that wall.
yeah. Like,
But see,
and
and I think though, but speaking of the Van Dam situation, the history behind that is because Van Dam like shined him off at the premiere of the Power Ranger movie.
uh-huh.
And you got to think this goes back to Jason David Frank being the youngest Ranger on set, looking up to these other guys, and if they kind of shine him off, okay, you're gonna remember that. But now here it is with somebody who let's be like who was like the sort of face of like martial arts in Hollywood.
Oh my gosh, huge deal,
And
Marcus.
then now Tommy was, let's be real, was kind of taking that in a sense. And This guy shines him off. So let's be real. That's almost like that whole thing all over again.
Oh yeah, and like
You're being
I'm
shined off
telling you, man.
by somebody that you look up to, like the older guy. Like you look up to this guy as like a this could be like your older brother type thing, and then they just shine you off like that.
Yeah, dude, it's got him feeling a type of way, and he's
Mm-hmm.
young at the time, and now that he's not a kid, he's probably like, nah, man, I ain't dealing with this disrespect.
Exactly.
You
Like, and let's be
know?
real, he is responsible 100% for that resurgence of Rangers.
Yeah, yeah. Like yeah, he's the guy, Marcus. Like, come on, man.
Yes.
We talk about it all the time, and um it's just interesting. And I think like let's talk about it real quick. Like, I don't know what Austin St. John was up to during the 20th anniversary. I just know personally because the 20th anniversary came out in what, 14?
Yes.
That's when Austin St. John, I looked it up. That's like his first like official con appearances was 2014.
Yeah. Well,
So
a lot of them started doing them.
yeah, but Tommy's I think was before.
Well, yeah, yeah. Tommy's was before.
Like, you know what I mean? Like we said it, and
Well,
I'm not,
actually, sorry. Tommy wasn't the first. Technically, the first was Johnny Young Bosch, but his was because of anime stuff and the voiceovers.
yeah,
And
different.
yeah, of course, they would throw the Ranger thing in there too. You know,
Hey man, we saw it in person. Like I like the guy.
love him.
It's not the biggest thing on his little banner
No,
behind him, right? Because
no,
he's got truth be told, fandom's gonna get pissed at this. He's got stuff on there right now that is more popular than Power Rangers.
it's the truth.
I'm not saying all time popularity because let's be honest, they have to last a long time to get there.
Yep.
But in the current right now, especially how we're talking about like this is the last season, um,
Mhm.
they're bigger. It's a bigger deal. Like, why wouldn't that get
It
more
is.
space? Allocate more space on there. I would too.
Yeah.
We saw his line. Yeah, he had people there for the Power Rangers. He had a lot more for anime. A
Yep.
lot more, right? A lot more.
It ain't even a 50-50, bro. It
Oh,
was
no. It was like 80-20.
80-20.
80-20, right? We both hit it 80-20. That's 80-20. Like, and I get it, bro. Like, we did,
Mhm.
right? We're like, hey, get your money. We couldn't even talk to him. We couldn't even wait in line.
Yeah.
Like, because there was a point where it was just like, forget it. Like, I know Marcus, you love this guy, bro. Like, let's get something with
Yeah.
him.
But
Like,
it was
even
just
just a picture.
like I said, line closed, huh? Yeah. Okay.
Nonstop, by the way, no line close.
Yeah. Nonstop.
Line closed,
Hey,
bro. Like this guy always had line closed because he's
but
cool, man. He's
yeah,
great. Like
he
he's
was the
doing
first
awesome.
one like doing those, but the one that made it popular for the Rangers was Jason David Frank.
Yeah. So like I was just like, okay, this is sick. He did that. And I'm not hating on Austin St. John for it. Like, shout outs to him, bro. Like he had a life outside of like acting and Power
Yeah.
Rangers, right? Like the guy was doing his thing, bro. And I give him all the credit in the world. Right, because he needed to. He had to do what he had to do. Outside of and I don't blame him, bro. Like I'm surprised he ever came back for Zio thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like he had a bad
I wonder
like
how that I would love to know how that conversation went.
yeah, fair. I mean, I don't know, huh?
Like, how do you sell this to this guy to come back? This guy that was basically leading a leading a revolt against you,
Mm-hmm.
and here he comes back, and you're not only bringing him back, but you're positioning him as a sixth ranger, and everyone knows that sixth ranger pops.
Yeah, and like I give him though like a lot of credit, man. Austin St. John, like there's a lot of things people don't talk about him. Um, now we'll get into that towards the end of like how some people are viewing him right now, but like the guy, you know, being in high school in Fullerton, didn't graduate,
Yeah,
and got his GED as an adult, which takes a lot of like credit for him and putting down your pride. Like I know my mom was 36 years old getting her GED. Um, and he went on and he got an undergrad degree, right? And he worked as a paramedic. Hard
yeah,
job in Washington, D.C., one of the craziest cities in our country. and then went overseas to the Middle
Yeah.
East, bro. Not officially like a part of the armed forces,
But
but
yeah.
worked as a healthcare provider, probably helping out all these soldiers, bro.
Yep.
And like I give him all the credit in the world because like when then he comes back, and and this is where I wonder if like Tommy, like Jason David Frank has a little bit of issue with too, Marcus, of like, oh, so now it's cool to be a Power Ranger,
Yeah. Well,
you
because,
know?
and I think that sort of too with these cons sort of brought that back because now you get panels and people asking
Yeah.
questions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I heard you guys didn't get along. Oh, I heard this. I heard that.
I heard, huh? I
Streets
heard.
talking. But when
But
that
like,
goes,
go
a
ahead.
lot of the
Sorry.
times, sorry, but a lot of the times, uh, let's be real, if this is just the truth. The main thing from this feud, the one who's always talking about it, Jason David Frank.
Yes, and like I wanted to get into that because I don't know what was the issue beforehand. It's so much as like he said a few things, right? The bricks and
Yeah.
real martial artists, all that stuff. Okay. But like you don't have that issue with Walter like he does Austin St. John.
But then I wonder, was Walter over here being like, I'm a martial artist or I'm like this dancer?
Yeah, like I know, like it's probably different, right? And I bet you he would say like, "Oh, it's different because they acted different." And also, too, like we don't know, bro. What if he acted like way different? Walter Jones was heck cool when we met him.
That's a cool cat.
Yeah, he's a cool
He's a
cat. So
cool
like
cat.
I could see him being out of drama.
Oh yeah.
You
Like
know
he
what I
gets
mean?
a,
I could.
yeah. Like I understand like the only drama him being a part of was like we need to be getting paid what we deserve.
And he
That
kept
ain't
working, by the way,
that
after.
Brink.
Well, and he probably has other roles, dude. Like
Oh
he
yeah, he
did,
did.
and
He had that
so
Space Case show on Nickelodeon.
yeah, so like he was doing other stuff, but like I think
Mhm.
he came at Austin St. John harder because of all the stuff
Yeah.
mixed into it, right? You would say, because when Austin St. John started coming in, bro, like, let's be real, like, he's coming to a con near us this weekend.
Yeah.
I can't go. I wish I could. Even to get a snippet for the podcast, I'd really like him to do a long form interview because, and this is why I say this, I think I'm done saying 1A, 1B. It's Jason, bro.
Yeah.
Like I know we're like it's Tommy, dude, merchandise, all this and that. That's Jason the Red Ranger. Like I know Rocky's the Red Ranger. I love Steve Cardenas, bro. He hooked us up. He's helping put us on.
Yep.
So like I'm a huge fan of the guy, but that's Jason.
Yeah.
Right, Marcus? Like that's Jason the Red Ranger. Like that's the guy,
He's the face of the franchise.
like he's the Pikachu.
Yeah.
Right. And I'd love to meet him, but I gotta go to a wedding and maybe get a little intoxicated. Who knows?
Oh,
I mean, have some fun. Probably listen to country music the whole time because I might be the only little dark spot around. Might be a lineup of marshmallows and one's roasted. It's me. But it's okay.
so much fun. Anyway,
I'll have fun, dog. Hey, oh, y'all got ribs? Because it's probably barbecue, right? They got tri-tip.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
you ain't been to weddings, dog?
Yeah, yours a year ago.
No, I mean we didn't have
And
that.
then,
We had tacos.
and then before that, like one wasn't for like another like God, 6 years, maybe
Oh wow.
6, 7 years.
Okay.
And that was a potluck thing. Hey guys, bring food.
Anyway, I don't okay. I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want to say anything bad about it. Anyways,
Ghetto.
yeah, we probably have some tri-tip. I'm gonna make an assumption.
Anyway,
That'd be cool if
back
it was
to
like
action.
pizza, bro. But back to action. They had like a major beef, and you're right, it's one-sided. We love Jason David Frank, but he talked a lot, bro.
He did the most, and it was always him going at like attack, attack, attack. And whenever, even when like someone brought up the fact of like, oh, someone asked Jason David Frank, oh, you're doing mixed martial arts now. Would you ever do like do a fight with Austin St. John? Yeah, I do it. Blah blah blah. and all this, and
Mm-hmm.
going like, oh, I want to. I've been trying to do this for a while. Blah blah. We can do this. We can make money. All this and blah. He's
Mm-hmm.
looking at it for an actual fight.
Oh yeah.
Austin St. John's like, nah, man, we got too much respect for each other. You can't do
Well,
that.
and I think that would be weird personally too. Like, I think he's trying to like embarrass him. I think he was trying to embarrass him, to be truthful with you. He's trying to
Yeah.
embarrass him, trying to show him up, trying to be like, see, I've always told you. Um, which isn't cool, by the way. I'll say that right now. That's
No,
not cool.
it's honestly, let's be real. It's very dickish.
Mm-hmm.
Very dickish.
Mm-hmm. Like, especially if the guy ain't talking about you, what are you talking about him for? Like, I felt like it was more personal with Jason David Frank than Austin
Yeah.
St. John. Like, it was a bigger deal to him. Because he even tried to call him out about being out of shape. Like, all right, brother, you're reaching right now. You're reaching. I don't know what he told you or what
Yeah.
happened in 93 and 94. I don't know what happened, but whatever he did, I'm sorry. Like, I hope you feel
Yeah.
better. Like I told you, when I watched a lot of these videos leading up to this and you sent me them, it
Mhm.
made me sad.
Yeah.
Many respects. I'm not gonna talk bad about anyone that's passed, but it made me kind of go, damn, dog, why are you being like that?
Mhm.
Like, why is you spilling tea like that about this man? Why, why are you down talking another man who might have did you dirty, but you guys have the ability to see each other. Like, I'm not even saying throw down and get down, because like there comes an age like unless he did something to your family, you ain't got a real reason to do that unless you have
Like,
an anger.
but then also, and let's just be real. I love the fact that we got them all together at the 2017 movie.
Because it's a great picture, by the way.
Yeah, great
Awesome
picture.
picture.
I'm glad they like we got to see our legends there. Um, and that picture exists because I do feel, regardless of how they felt for each other, that moment. If people don't realize this about the 2017 Ranger movie, that is such a momentous occasion for the franchise that we're able to get a movie on a major Hollywood movie. It ain't like you know, it's like a produced from the show, kind of like the Turbo movie was. This is a massive high budget movie that they were hoping to bank on and build a franchise out of.
Well, and like think of some of the stars, like the places they went after. Like I'll
Yeah,
say it, Becky G, bro. Like, come on. My
like
students know who that is.
everyone knows she's on, possibly globally, one of the biggest female superstars.
Yeah, like if you want to get
And
real,
I'm
like
saying
who's the biggest
superstars.
star?
I'm not gonna say music. I'm just gonna say superstars because she is multi-talented, bro.
Yeah, but
Singing,
like if
dancing,
you want to,
hosting, all that
bro,
stuff.
she's the biggest star to come out of Power Rangers.
She's huge.
Like
You
it's
got
not even close.
you got her. You got Becky G. You got Ludi Lin went on to be Liu Kang. No, was it Liu Kang? Who did he play in Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, didn't
Yeah,
he?
Liu Kang. But then he's also, dude, he does a lot of films in China and hearing like popping up all the time on these other shows. He's constantly working. RJ Seiler, Billy, he was like the biggest, honestly, probably the biggest name going into that movie, just because of all the like movies and stuff he's been a part of before. Naomi Scott,
Blowing
Charlie's
up.
Angels, Aladdin,
Mhm.
Princess Jasmine and Aladdin. She's still doing like acting and stuff all the time. Her and Becky G are like best friends now because of that. And then you got Drake Draco. I always want to say Draco, but it ain't Draco.
Mm-mm.
You got Billy from
Not
Stranger
Malfoy.
Things. Yeah. But it's like, yeah, they all blew up. But ultimately, that movie is a great showing of like they can look back at like, hey man, look, this is what we started. Look at it now. And that's a great celebration. That's a great thing
Mhm.
to be like, man, we started this.
Like it's super cool, bro. When you look back on it, like I can't wait to talk about this movie. I can't wait to
Yeah.
do it. I think it's gonna be great. I just, I'm glad we got those pictures, bro. Like they're so cool, and I don't know how things were. Like I can tell, we're kind of getting to the end of this episode because like 2017, obviously,
Yeah.
so many years later. Um, I'm glad we got the pictures. There were still comments said later, right? Like there were still comments made later.
Yeah.
Um, but those pictures, bro, like they stay forever. Like truth be told, like I wish I had more pictures with my friends.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't have enough. Like I don't have any
I
with like our buddies that we just have for my birthday.
yeah.
Like I think Sammer might have took a couple pictures of me, but like I wish I should have told her to maybe take pictures of like everyone.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Because you don't have things, right? Like you don't
Well, especially,
like
bro, dude, like let's be real. And this is personal. Like, how much more do you like value the pictures you have with Mike,
yeah, I wish I took more.
right?
Like don't like I know you
Like
did. I
I
know
got
you
the
wish
ones
you
from
had more.
I got Armenian ones, and
Uh-huh.
it's great, but it's like that's it,
Yeah, you wish you took more.
right?
Like even just joking around, I wish I took more.
Yeah.
And the fact that they got those and like, I'm gonna make an assumption that they were pretty good, like when it was ended, like
I
for Jason David
yeah,
Frank.
I feel like it was honestly the whole thing, the relationship. I think from there it got to a point of being like copacetic, like, hey man, we can coexist.
Yeah, like let
It
me
may
read
have been
this real
like there was
quick.
some strain, but it's like, hey, we could do this until, and let's just being honest, until the end, closer to the end of Jason David Frank's life.
Yeah, like I think that Austin St. John had made a comment that like, they weren't like drinking buddies anymore,
Yep.
you
Well,
know.
he said that he was like, yeah, and when he said when Jason David Frank died, he's in that video. He's like, obviously he's not a guy I'm gonna go, share a beer with, but
But like, and the thing he put out, and that's how I felt like how it probably would have been if like something went down, and it's a great saying, bro. Like, I need to put it on a poster and put it like in my classroom and like in here. Once a ranger, always a ranger. Like, once you were down with each other,
yep.
we're always down with each other. We might not have the best relationship, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like with people, like that's how I feel with some people. Like, we might not even talk a lot ever,
Yeah.
but like we were down together, we're in this
I'm still gonna
together.
ride
Like,
for you.
I still gonna ride for you, even if truth be told, like you bugged the hell out of me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not talking. It's obviously not you, but like in general, like man, somebody you bugged the hell out of me. Like we
I
have
know.
people we
Yep.
wrestled with that we don't like. Like I'm not saying I don't like them; they get on my damn nerves. But like I ride for you. Like something happened to you, like I'd be upset,
Yeah.
like really
And
upset. Like
and it,
I'd shed tears, like a lot of
but
tears.
that also shows like kind of how they ended. Final comments on stuff was of the of their final remarks of their feud was like showed, you could tell like how it was.
Mhm.
Like Austin St. John is facing his legal troubles. And what
And
does
let's talk about that, bro. Let's talk.
yeah,
Let's because this that bugged me. Like I already said, I was already annoyed
yep.
about him talking about like him like that when I don't think he needs to talk about dudes like
No,
that.
don't kick someone while they're down, dog.
Yeah, bro.
Don't kick a man while they're down. Like, and this is the thing too, and especially like Jason David Frank professed to be a Christian and all this stuff, and he's like, I'm a man of God and all that. Brother, don't do that, man. Don't do that. Be better. Be better.
Yeah, it's not
But
nice. It's not cool, man. Like
also
it's
this
weird.
was
Go ahead.
towards the end of his life, and let's be real, brother was struggling. Dude was
Oh yeah,
struggling.
yeah, yeah. You will.
It's evident when you look at a lot of stuff, and a lot of these posts are gone. They're gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Somebody went
I
over
told you,
there
who's ever running it, they got rid of it.
for sure.
Because he had talked about the 2017 movie, like, man, remember that stupid movie? I was a part of that dumb movie and all that. It's like, what are you talking about this? It was
Because
great.
he's mad, bro. I
Well,
think he
he
had a
got mad
like.
at the franchise because they didn't want to do the Emerald Dragon, which is now that movie that he has coming out, Legend of the White Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
It was originally supposed to be a darker, gritty, like Green Ranger story, and a more like kind of what we got from Soul of the Dragon. That was kind of where it was going, and he pitched that to Hasbro and and Power Rangers, and they were like, no thanks, we don't know if we're ready for that yet, so they passed on it. And
Which is
that's
how
when,
Hollywood goes.
and it yes, and it's like, hey, Rangers aren't getting gritty yet, like on the shows.
Yeah, and just bro, like this is how Hollywood goes a lot, man. Like,
Yeah,
and I just feel bad because, like I said, it made me feel bad. A lot of it did because it's like, we grow older, bro.
Mhm.
We're in our 30s when he passed, right? I was literally
Yeah,
on my honeymoon. Um,
yeah, I
yeah,
remember.
I was on my honeymoon.
And
His
it was
anniversary, the
right
anniversary is
before.
coming up, bro. Like, that's when
Yeah,
we're gonna do a whole episode on Tommy. Like, y'all better get ready. Like that's gonna be a fun one, sad one.
yep.
But that's coming. Uh, but man, like I was sad because of like, man, bro, like don't be like that. Like, especially as we grow up, like you start becoming a person, you see people you don't like you said it to me one time. You're like, man, you said in kind of terms of like you thought like, man, Tommy's kind of a douche, man. Remember
He
that? Do you remember
and
that?
yeah, no, and I said
Like,
that. I was like, he's turning like a lot, and a lot of other Ranger fans felt the same way.
yeah, and I remember I told you, I go, yeah, Marcus, like his
It's
videos are interesting, man. Huh? Remember
yeah,
I told you
like
that? Like his
he
videos were tripping me out.
yeah, he was like fully like done with Rangers because he even put out a post where it was showed like I think the hand or like the glove of like the Green Ranger, but then like this suit of like the White Dragon for that movie he was doing, and it said forget the past, embrace the future. So
Mm-hmm.
homie was like done with Rangers. And then but then and also let's be real, it probably irked him some that he pitched this and then Jason gets brought back in that episode for Beast Morphers.
Oh, you know it did.
That's gonna stink. But it's
Oh,
also
you know
like,
it did.
but hey man, who gets brought back all the time for the big anniversary episodes? Because let's be real, the Jason one didn't have any buildup. It was just like, oh, this happened. It,
Yeah,
it, it,
like
it happened. Like social media buzz, yeah. But
it was
like,
cool. I thought it was cool, right? We all did. Like I thought it was sick.
hey, visually, it was great. It was cool.
I
But
think
like,
just seeing him, bro.
yeah, just see
That's
him
what it
come
is for
back
me.
fighting like a Goldar Maximus, and
Mm-hmm.
that's dope. But
Of
like,
course, it's a Goldar Maximus.
right? But it's like, hey man, this brother came back just this one time. You come back all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, like I said, there's enough food for everybody. We all eat.
Yeah,
But
man. Especially when it comes to Power Rangers.
but it's like, let's be real. That probably irked him because his pitch got rejected. And then here comes the guy that he had beef with, getting back and getting some shine. But then when Austin St. John, got busted and has his legal troubles right now that he's facing, Tommy put out there a screenshot of the headline of the article and says, wow, and went on this whole rant like, wow, you think you know people, blah, 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 blah. And just like, you're horrible. Like, if you did this and all this, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, and all Austin St. John did was put out there, like, you know, I didn't do this. I'm going to face this. I'm going to face this head on. We're going to fight this. But obviously, for those of you who know me and you know better. And
That's
then,
it.
yeah. And he just said, you know better. And then doesn't name any names, doesn't tell me, but it's like, we know, dude. It's like, come on. Don't kick a brother when he's down.
Oh, terrible. It made me so like annoyed when he
Yeah.
did.
And that's when a lot of people kind of too like had that sour taste for Jason David Frank. Let's be real. It sucked
I
because
I
it
yeah.
hurt. I think that's what it was. It's a lot of massive like disappointment. And I
Yeah,
think
I was
that's
just
what it
like,
really
brother,
is.
like, why are you doing that? Like
It's
he
so unnecessary too. But
mm-hmm.
then but then Austin St. John ended it. I mean, well, when Tommy died, and Jason David Frank died, and he just said, hey man, I'm praying for his family.
Mm-hmm.
Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. And that's just like they kind of like I said, their last shots at each other or comments towards each other, about each other, showed how they really were throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, it's just and it's sad, right? Like
It
that's
is.
kind of like the closing remarks we got from them, right? All that. And it just sucks, man, because like these are the guys, right? I keep saying that they're the guys, man. They're the Power Rangers. They
And I'm not
are.
gonna lie, and it sucks too, was that we missed them in Once and Always.
Oh my gosh,
Just
like
imagine, just imagine what that could have been.
yeah, dude, like as cool as Once and Always was, like let's be
Mhm.
real, like, and I'm not hating on any of them. Like I love the other people. Like I'm glad they got their shine. Like they're
Yeah.
awesome. They're awesome. But we said it before, Marcus. Like the I guess you'd say it, the main three weren't available to them.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it the main three like that, but
I
you
mean, it's the
start with
truth.
Jason David
Jason,
Frank.
Tommy, Kimberly, Tommy, Jason, Kimberly.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Those were the big, but I mean, what we got was great. And I'm happy we got it, but it's one of those things. Just imagine, even if Kimberly didn't want to come back, okay, fine. But even if we
Mhm.
just got Jason and Tommy,
How wild would that have been?
just imagine, dude, Forever Red, that that embrace they had.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like,
That was
and
such a huge moment, And so just imagine that now, 20 years later.
yeah, dude, like it would have been amazing. I would have loved it. We all would have loved it. The fans, like, we got people that talk smack, right, about it, and they're critical. And it's okay, I guess, to be critical, right? That's your right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
your opinion. You can be critical. Um, I think it's because we're older. I enjoy what's given.
Mhm.
I try to. I think I have to, right?
Yeah.
We almost have to. And man, like it would have been insane, bro. Like it would have been wild, you know? Like when you think back on it, like what it would have been, Marcus, like if that was it, like those
Yeah.
guys, it would have been sick, man. But we didn't get it and we got what we got. I liked it. It's cool, right? Like it's cool. Um, and this feud, like it's a trip. Like, I wish it could have been better, like especially towards the end, but who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it was, Marcus. We don't know.
We don't,
We
because
don't know.
Jason David Frank even did put out another video where he's like, hey guys, don't let, in regards to Austin St. John, saying like, hey, don't let this soil, your thoughts on the franchise. 'Cause at the end of the day, like, everyone's human. We're all human. Pray for him. And because I remember I told you that, and I was trying to find when that post came out compared
Mm-hmm.
to like the one before. So who knows?
Yeah, like I'm interested about that too because I'm like, something happened, right? I don't know. I think something like popped up must have between them. Uh who knows, man? I just think it was I really wish they could have got some. I guess I don't know. I guess it's a selfish thing, right? I wish there was more closure like that we saw,
Yeah.
but who knows what happened? They're my faves, right? They're the best, dude.
Yeah.
They're the best ones, I think, of it. And no offense, like I like other people. I know you're fans of others as just like I am. But man, like I just wish there was more. Like
Yeah.
I just wish we could have got more, and I wish certain things didn't happen. But I guess that's what happens. Like when you're hurt, there's hurt there, right? There's
Mhm.
hurt there. And I just think that there's hurt there and feelings people I guess didn't get to express that they were just mad about now, and they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a trivia episode,
Very
right?
different.
Like, because it's different because there's no, I guess, net positive at the end, right? Like
No?
it's not really. The only thing I can say though is like they are the best.
Yeah.
Like I get figures of them. Like I'm not done with it yet, but I'll post it soon. But like I have a bunch of figures of Tommy, and I'm really a big fan of Jason with the dragon shield. Like I got
Yeah.
different kind of figures of that, and I'm a Gold Ranger fan. Like I like they're the guys for me.
Yeah.
I think they are for most people our age.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll end my part, and you say what you got to say, and you can end yours. Sucks that they feuded, but man, I guess if they never got on screen together, we wouldn't be doing this podcast.
Right.
Cosmic Fury, here we come.
Yep. 6 hours.
Yeah, man.
And for all
Just so
y'all
people know,
posting all this stuff about it, ooh, I already saw it. Man, shut up.
I've
Shut
been
up.
off stuff like that. I've had to mute a lot of it. I haven't seen anything, luckily.
Yeah.
Uh,
I just see this stuff, but like people that like bigger that no, I'm not gonna lie, that are on the level I would love us to be at posting, oh, I saw Cosmic Fury, okay, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, first of all, stop. Ain't nobody see like not everyone's seen it yet. Okay.
mhm.
Like, first of all, check your privilege, dog. Okay, check your privilege. Like,
Sure,
let
for sure.
us watch it for ourselves.
No, for sure, for sure. I get you right there, dog.
So,
Because
and
yeah,
I guess
it kind
hey,
of
I
sucks
guess they're all
sometimes.
dropping at once. It's dropping
Interesting.
all at once.
I'm
So
almost done with the Dino Fury ones I was getting to.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I have like 3 left.
that
So
last
yeah,
episode is good, dude. Season 2 finale is great.
is it?
That was real good. Yeah,
I can't. It's cool. You were kidding though. Like what I've watched so far is really good.
it's it's a good series. It's a good season.
Yeah,
Great.
like I like it so far. Like I can see why. I know her more by her real name for some reason than because I see social media. Hunter Dino.
Yeah,
I can see why she's gonna be the lead.
yeah. Hmm.
Really good act. Really good. Like doing her role. Right.
They're all like honestly pretty good actors.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that's
It
what I
was
noticed too. I
like
didn't.
because
That's what I
every now
noticed
and then
too.
like Ranger actors get kind of like up and down, you know. These ones are
Yeah,
all like fairly believable. The only
for
there's only
sure.
one that gets on my nerves. Do you know which one gets on my nerves?
Tell me.
Guess. You don't know?
I don't know which one bugs you. Which one bugs you?
Ion.
Why?
I don't know. He just bugs me, dude. There's something about him. He just bugs me. Little Michael Jackson. I don't know.
You're hilarious. You
Plus, I'm honestly I'm very sick and tired of the gold and blue color pattern for Gold Rangers.
really?
I hate it.
Wow.
It
Okay.
was cool with like Daggeron and Mystic Force, dope ass suit. But then it's like every time since almost every time since it's always just been gold and blue. It's like to me it's such an odd pairing, but I'm just like
Really? You know what? I
change it up.
grew up in Sutter. I'm so used to it, man.
You're
I
used to
think I
you're used to
huh?
yellow and blue. No, it's yellow and blue. No,
Sure, man, but
no, yellow
well,
and
I
blue.
think well it is, but like I think it looks cool, personally.
Eh,
But hey, we all like what we like, right? Like,
exactly.
it is what it is. I like it, but hey, if you don't, dog, it is what you don't, right? Like, yeah, I get it. Like you don't like it. But I do. I actually think it's really cool too. Like I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Like I just think it's cool. Like I wish I wish like they had cooler figures of some of them.
Dude, I know.
Like they don't really do cool Power Ranger figures like that anymore, man.
No, I just wish we had the regular generic 6 inch like figs like they used to do all the time.
Yeah, what's up with that? What's
Why
going
why
on with that? They
why
don't do
can't I
that,
get a
huh?
cosmic why can't I get a Cosmic Fury team, huh?
Yeah, like what's
Why
up
can't I
with
get
that?
Cosmic Fury team?
They don't do that anymore. Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's-
To me, it really sucks. I don't know if they were trying to do that to bank it all for Lightning Collection, but
You think that's why?
possibly. But
Hmm,
I don't know.
that's fair. Let's see. You got anything else to add before I always let Marcus sign us out?
No, man, I don't.
No?
No.
Everything's good in the hood?
Yeah, man.
Okay, dog, let us out.
It's your boys.
Yeah.
It's Richard.
Yeah.
It's Marcus. We
Yeah.
Rangers of the Grid.
Uh-huh.
We the black and gold, Jason and Tommy.
We're the black and gold, Jason and Tommy. Yeah.
And guess what? We get our Master Morphers next week.
I know. Actually,
We
dude,
got
did you double check yours? Like it might be coming tomorrow, possibly. Although
Oh,
mine says it might be, right? Like
mine says October 2nd.
yeah, yours might be more like mine originally said the third, but now it said maybe 9:30.
Oh,
So who knows, man?
who
The next time
knows?
the next time we do this though,
We gonna have our Master Morphers.
we're gonna have our Master
Because
Morphers.
guess
And I
what?
can't wait.
We got our Master Morphers because we Rangers of the Grid. We out grocery bag.